Good morning. I just wanted to jump on here this morning and talk about forgiveness for a second. A lot of people don't really understand why forgiveness is necessary, and at one point, I didn't understand why forgiveness was necessary. And so, what I want to do on today is kind of like help us to understand not only some of the reasons to be unforgiving, but some of the reasons to forgive as well. So, let's start by talking about some things that is unforgivable, such as sometimes, we hear stories about people being raped, someone molesting us or our children. We hear, a heartbreak, somebody, kind of messing us up in the heart, in the mind, just kind of being allowed to take our minds and our hearts to a different level of distrust. Another form of unforgiveness is a lot of people are church hurt. A lot of people have been heartbroken by elders or by people in the church that may have judged them whenever they was in a very vulnerable space in their lives where their hearts was really broken, and they expected the church to be the healer. They expected the church to be the person or the people that'll wrap their arms around them. But in fact, some people did not get that. They was neglected, and they was pushed away. And they was talked bad about, and may have led to more brokenness. Another form of unforgiveness that some people may deem unforgivable is betrayal. Where you trust these people so much, you have so much faith and so much hope in someone, and out of nowhere they do the honoriest thing that you could ever imagine, and you begin to think, wow, did I really trust them? Wow, did they really even love me? Wow, did they even ever care? What in the world? How could they do this to me? And you begin to think about that betrayal, and then you begin to ponder it, and then you become very envious and very angry and very bitter. You begin to not trust people. So when people come along that even reminds you of them, you begin to walk off and be like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that person because that reminds me of what this person did to me. They look like the person that did this to me. See, forgiveness, it is needed because the person that bruised you will leave that scar in you. So when you walk up to another person that has nothing to do with the hurt that person caused to you, just because they remind you of them, you will hate that person. You will push that person away. You will push that person back to keep your distance as a protective factor. But in all actuality, that person may have been sent there to love on you, may have been sent there to assist you in the breaking of the chains that has been binding you. That person may have been there to assist you in the renewing of your heart. You just never know. So forgiveness, it's not just, you don't just have to not be forgiving. You don't have to live there. You don't have to live in that space and be comfortable there. It is people out here that's worth your time, that's worth your love, that's worth that sacrifice that you have to offer them. But first you must forgive the people that broke you. I'm not saying rub shoulders with them all over again. I am saying forgive them to the point where when you look at them in the store or when you see them out and about, you're not angry all over again, that past doesn't rush up and hurt you all over again. I am saying that if you have forgiven them, you would be able in your heart and in your mind to look at them and say, you know what, that had nothing to do with me. They was broken and they didn't know how to do anything with something that wasn't broken. So what they did to me was simply what they had done to them. And they wanted me to feel a little bit of their hurt. But see, you know what? I'm healed and I can't sit there and hold you accountable for something that you don't understand how to get out of. So I want you to know on today, yeah, people have done some unforgivable things in life. It may seem unforgivable, but let me explain to you that God has done some things for me that he had every right to not forgive me because I didn't do right by him. I sat there and I kept on telling him, Lord, if you just bring me out of this situation, I'll serve you. I'll do it big. I'll make sure that I do everything that you ask me to do. I'll read your word. I'll pray. I'll fast. God, I will do it. I promise. And next thing you know, right after he got me out of that situation, I was back rubbing shoulders with the enemy as if God didn't see this the whole time. And then one day I got mad at somebody. I was angry. I was frustrated. I was like, how dare them do me like that? And then God said, but I've forgiven you so many times. I've extended my forgiveness to you so many times. And you've done way worse. And then that's when I realized this is the love of God that God wants us to show. That forgiveness, that love, that love that he wants us to show is the love of forgiveness. Who the Son sets free is truly free indeed. So just because you don't forgive them does not mean God has not set them free and took every chain that they have been battling with. Does not mean that God will not use them for his glory. Keep on not forgiving that person as God elevates them and uses them in a supernatural way, because of the simple fact they have moved on. They have trusted that God has set them free. They have trusted that God has forgiven their sins, and they will move forward into their purpose, into their calling, while you sit there and you sleep and you toss and turn fighting a battle that they're not even fighting anymore. Forgiveness is necessary. God bless.